Welcome to Professor Pearl, a YouTube channel about knitting and other crafts. I'm wearing a Love Note sweater today because I'm going to be hosting a Love Note knit along from October 1st to December 1st. And it's the first knit along I'm hosting. And today on my screen, you can see Kelly. Kelly, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Kelly, and I am the owner of Le Mouton Rouge Knittery in Bloomington, Illinois.
Awesome. I've made 3 Love Notes. One of the Love Notes I'm wearing today this is yarn that you've dyed.
It is. Call a truce. You
got that right. Call a truce. Don't confuse that with chartreuse. You know, if I was organized, Kelly, I would have got my teapot that matches this out and had it right now.
With the fiesta, yeah.
Okay, let me get back on track here. So as I was thinking about hosting this knit along, I was thinking it would be nice to create some videos for support. And so it seems like a good first video would be obviously describing the knit along, which I'm not going to do today here. But another good first knit along would be, or good video would be to talk about yarn choices. And so Kelly's going to share some yarn choices with us today.
I have a full table of yarn that is here, and the Love Note, the recommendation is to use a sock weight and a fingering weight or a lace weight mohair, or a DK weight to get, as it by itself, or the two together to make a DK weight, as I stumble over my words. So I'm going to show you some other options as well, some that are a little bit more budget friendly. And I know that not everyone loves mohair, so I have a couple things that don't have any mohair in them at all.
What? People don't like mohair.
Some people are allergic, and I will say that I made a sweater when I first started knitting 15 years ago that had mohair in it, and it turned my skin bright red. But the mohair that's available now, I think it doesn't bother me at all. So if you haven't tried mohair for a while, you might want to try it again. Just that's my little side note. I could not wear mohair 15 years ago, and now I can. I don't think it's my skin. I think it's the mohair, and the silk is just really nice.
You've toughened up with age.
Maybe, I don't know. So this is one of my Love Notes, and this color is one that I dyed also, and this is called Montana Sapphire. So this is two variegated, it's same variegated, but it's a variegated yarn held together. So you can see it does have some color change to it, but it doesn't look super over the top. And Nicole said that I should try this on because then we can be twins, but it's 95 here today, so I am not trying on.
It's hot here. It's hot here. You wouldn't know it because I'm wearing a sweater and pumpkin earrings, but it is hot here too. I love knitting.
So this is the one that I did that is really just according to what the pattern said.
Did you do this? I was looking at pictures from this fall. We took a picture together last fall when we made these together, and we took a picture, and I was looking at your sleeves on the picture. And did you modify the sleeves, or did you do them the same?
I believe it's been a while. I don't really remember, but I think I did them as written.
Okay.
They're just kind of, I don't have long arms, so I think they probably look, I might have made them shorter. Okay. But I did not make them longer. I can measure them and let you know. But this is the Love Note number 1. And then after I made that one, I made a second Love Note. And I made this one without the lace. So this one is made out of Berroco mochi. If you can see, it's just kind of a fuzzy tweed effect.
So that's no mohair. So that's a single yarn you used.
I'm going to grab the ball of yarn because I did pull one out. So this is alpaca, nylon, wool, and then 2% other fiber. So this is the colorway I used in everything. So, and these are 191 yards each, and I think they're $13. So
how many balls would it take, you think, for a large or extra large? Do you know?
I think I did an extra large, and I think it took 4. So like around $60.
I mean,
So this is pretty budget friendly.
Yeah, it's more budget friendly than hand-dyed yarn for sure. And I love the look of that.
So, and with this one, I obviously did not do the lace. So I just left the lace off and I kept the length the same to the arm divide. And the other thing I modified on this is I did, for the ends of the sleeves, I did an I-cord bind off. And I also did that.
That looks so good.
I did this on the edging as well. And so this one I did the curved hem in the back, but I also did a curved hem in the front. So I tried to iron this earlier today, but it's so humid here. It's just rolling back up again. So the back is about an inch or so longer than the front, but I added the curved hem to both sides. And I did that by, on the back, I should have like written all this down. This is me giving bad notes. But whatever the curved hem instructions are in the front, I did the turns one stitch farther apart, so there was less turns to complete the width.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same directions as the back, just a different amount of stitches between the wraps and turns. You don't have to, I think the way the pattern is, you don't have to do a high-low hem if you don't. I did it on mine as well, I think. I don't know if it'll show. Yeah, so this back is longer, assuming I put it on right, than the front. But I don't think you have to do a high-low hem. You could just and you can just do it more cropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably made both of mine longer than you made yours, because I want them to be below my waist.
And I did not do the cropped version for this. I think for this one I did a mix in between cropped and full length.
Yeah, and mine are definitely below the waist. Where the higher part of the hem is still below the waist. So
you like tuck it in, or do you just wear it below your waist?
I don't really ever tuck anything in.
Oh, I tuck everything in.
So I mean, yeah, I just
not even my sweaters. I'll tuck this one in a lot. Not with this particular pant, but
that I-cord edging is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And gives it a nice finished look. And I did a few more decreases at the sleeve to make it poof a little bit more.
I like that. Oh, poof.
So the I-cord edging pulls it in as well. So I pulled out some yarn choices. I think I'm going to show the more traditional choices first, some of the hand-dyed sock yarn with mohair. And I have these all lined up on my table, but I pulled out a whole bunch of choices. Okay, so this is some that I've dyed, and this color is called Orbit. So this you would get an effect similar to the one that I did in the Montana Sapphire. So these are the same variegateds that you would hold together.
Okay, let's just rewind for a second. That's called Orbit?
Yeah.
I'm loving that name. This is my first time seeing that color. That's so cool.
I have some space ones, and then I have some oceany sea ones. So this goes with like the space ones.
Okay. I'm loving Orbit. Yes.
And then if you wanted to like have a hand dyed, but you don't want the hand dyed all over, you could pair it with something like this, which is called Lilac Moon. And that's going to just kind of tone down that color change and make it a little bit more subtle.
You know what? I did that for a ranunculus. I had one of my variegated skein of yarn in like a yarn basket. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to knit a ranunculus out of it, but I wasn't sure I wanted the high contrast with variegation. So I paired a tonal mow with it.
Yeah, so that'll kind of settle down what the color effect is. And then I pulled out these because I know that you like bright and you haven't picked your colors yet. So for Nicole, I'm picking Coral Club.
Hello. That looks so good.
So this is just a bright neon peach. You can see little hints of pink. I'm trying to hold it back so you can see. I think that's pretty true to color.
I love it. It's so good.
So this would be more similar to the way that Nicole's Calatruse colors, where it's more solid. Her color does yours have speckle in it?
No, but it does have ever so slight. Oh, wait, I put it on.
Yeah, so it's going to be like this. I think it was Barb's that had.
I just think it's cool. Like I love this about hand-dyed yarn where it like is
just very
solid,
subtle,
but like not perfectly solid, that you can tell that it didn't buy this from a store. And I love that.
So another combination I pulled out is, this is Manos Cabrito,
Ooh.
which is just this is a super pale pink. It's called Primrose. And I paired that with Hedgehog Fibres Whisper.
Okay, that's
and you
classy.
can see these are a little bit different in tone, but these are going to work really well together. And this is just going to be kind of very pastel. It's not like pastel, like baby pastel, but it's going to be a nice light color, not in your face like some of the other choices.
Love it.
So I also pulled out, you wanted to do something a little bit more tonal. This is Tosh Sock and Posy, and this is Rowan Kidsilk Haze. So you can see this mohair is darker. So it's just going to give you a little bit more depth when you knit these together. And I'm trying to find the color number on this so that people know.
I think it's really fun.
This is 583.
I think it's fun to like pair these kind of like darker mows with like the yarn. I think it can look really cool and give you unexpected fabric.
Right. If you pick something that's lighter, it's going to calm it down. When you pick something that's darker, but still that shade, it's going to just give a little bit more depth to it without like making the whole sweater look dark, if that makes sense.
I know that you have picked yarns, and so I hate to be the person that's going to like get us a little off track here for a second, but was reading some of my YouTube comments about the love note and like people's interest in doing a knit along, and somebody, I don't remember who, but somebody commented that they weren't into mohair. And so I know that you have some not mohair options, but one of the things I was wondering about this weekend, and maybe I should have asked you this before I'm recording, but can you pair, let's say, a fingering, because you know, like mohair's lace weight, could you like pair a fingering with just like any lace weight that's a not mohair lace weight?
So I think what you want is some loft. And as I get to some of the other choices, I do definitely have some mohair free, and I'll show like some of the characteristics if you're not going to use a fingering and a mohair together of what you should look for.
Okay, thanks.
So this is Hedgehog Fibres Harvest, which is a tonal white and gold with a bunch of speckles. And I paired that with Berroco Aerial, which is another kind of mohair. So this one's 65 mohair, 35% silk. And you can see that's lovely.
Now,
so you are going to see
Aerial, is that more of a budget option?
So these are, I think, 13. I should have memorized all the prices, but I didn't. I can send you a list too, so you can post that as a comment when you post the video, or maybe make it as like a little slide. I don't know how to do that stuff, so you're going to be in charge of that. But yeah, so these are 13 and they have 284 yards.
Okay.
So this is not in my budget friendly section, but the Aerial is definitely less expensive than like the hand dyed mohair.
Okay.
So
I like that combo a lot.
And then if you want a non-budget friendly option, this is very neutral. This is Cashluxe Spine by Sweet Georgia, and this color is called Birch. And then this is a mohair free option, but it's Cashmere Haze.
This looks so good.
So instead of having mohair, it is 40% alpaca, 30% cashmere, 30% silk. So if you're not looking to have a budget-friendly option, but you want a mohair-free option, Cashmere Haze is quite lovely.
Have you knit with Cashmere Haze?
I have a scarf. Well, I haven't finished the project yet, but I have a scarf that I'm working on at home that is Tosh Merino Light plus copper glitter with the Cashmere Haze. So this is a little bit fuzzier I don't know if the camera is even going to pick that up. This is a little bit fuzzier than just regular mohair, so it is going to give you a little bit more fluff than just like Kidsilk Haze or another one of the mohairs. But if you wanted something just very neutral, I think this comes in like 8 colors. So
I'm wearing a black tank top under mine, and I think black would look really good underneath there too.
Yeah, and they have like a super pale blushy peach, and there's cream and like a blue and a couple grays. So if you're looking for a mohair-free luxury option, Cashmere Haze. We had to have not all budget-friendly options. So then I also got out, I think this is the last one of the regular sock weights. This is Tough Love Sock by Sweet Georgia. So this is a solid color. This is called Blue Canoe. And I pulled this with Aerial Color, which is a new yarn for this fall season. And this is a very variegated color. And you can see that kind of blue highlight goes with this color.
That's fun. So you have a tonal yarn, but then use a variegated mo.
So you're going to just see very subtle color changes.
That's fun.
So if you do the opposite and have the variegated, the mohair is going to calm it down. And this is just going to give you some color changes. It's not going to look super busy, those two together. So now I'm going to get to the non-sock and mo together. You can obviously just use a plain DK.
I'm curious about doing that someday. Like,
that is one of the options.
I have 2 mohair ones, so I was thinking it'd be nice to have just the DK.
So I pulled out, this is Artifact and Hedgehog Merino DK. So this is just a neutral with a lot of speckles. So I think you could wear this with a ton of things. I'm trying to not show that label because it's very reflective. But so that would be one. And then I kind of picked this. It's called Wild Love.
Oh.
So this one is
blown out. What colors is that?
Let's see, can I pull it back? And
is it like pink?
It's like the bottom shows really well and the top shows really washed out. But yeah, so this is just neon peaches, pinks, yellows, and a little bit of white. I don't know if it's maybe the color I'm wearing is making it look washed out because my color is so saturated on my shirt. So, and then this is Alice by Wonderland Yarns, which this matches my shirt really well too.
Yeah, it does.
So this is a DK wool and silk. So with this one, you're going to get a little bit of sheen. Which I don't know how well that's going to show on camera, but this yarn is also lovely. And then the classic Madelinetosh DK, this is called Copper Pink.
I like that one.
So this is going to be another more subtle one. It's going to be a solid pink. It's kind of like a clay pink, if that makes sense. Like pink with just a hint of terracotta. And then it has pink speckles and brown speckles. So that would be pretty subtle. And then I pulled out, this is Kelbourne Willow Scout, which is 100% wool. But what I like about their colors is they're all very heathered. Like I think if I get, you can see all the color shading in there. So this would be a little bit more budget friendly. These are $16 and they're 274 yards. And this would be one that you would use by itself.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So this would be, I think, pretty affordable. So I also pulled out another yarn that they have. This one does have mohair in it. This is called Andorra.
Oh, it has mohair in it.
Yeah. So this one is 20% Highland wool, 20% mohair, and 60% merino. So you're going to get some loft just because there's that mohair mixed in with the yarn.
I like the look of that one.
So, and I picked some yarns that are not DK weight. I have a couple more DKs to show, and then I have some heavier yarn. So I also pulled out Rowan Felted Tweed. So these are $12.95 a ball, and they're 191 yards. So this would be a pretty budget-friendly option. You are going to get kind of that rustic look because of the tweed. And this does have some halo to it. I don't know how much you can see with the alpaca that's in there. So you aren't going to get the fuzziness from the mohair, but you are going to get that same look from the alpaca that's in there.
So that one that you just showed, it is not DK, or it is DK?
That one is DK.
Okay.
I have 3 more DKs to show.
Okay, girl, you're getting it here.
Okay, so here's another budget-friendly one, and this is going to be a mohair-free option. So this is Berroco Arno.
Oh, I like that.
Which is a tape yarn. So this is 57% cotton and 43% merino wool. And this is kind of that floofy tape. Trying to get that close and sit still so that you can kind of see. So this is going to give you some of that same loft and drape that, like with my one that I did out of the mochi, which is worsted. So this is a little bit lighter.
Oh, mochi's worsted.
It is.
Oh, but so, you know, one of the things I do want to point out about this pattern is that I find it to be very flexible in terms of gauge. Like, I mean, obviously, like you want to get gauge, but everybody's going to get that at a different way. I think I had to size down 3 needle sizes to get gauge on it. And so I think particularly with this idea of like holding a fingering with a mohair, like that makes a DK weight. That is what's recommended, but the most important thing is gauge. So as long as you can get gauge, if you're using a thicker DK or whatever, that's okay.
And you also want to be happy with your fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could get gauge with 2 lace weights, but that's going to be super holey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you also need to be aware of, is you just want to be happy with what fabric you get. So like when I used the worsted, I was very happy with that. And that's still knit to a looser gauge than recommended on the label because of the way that Love Note is made. So this is solid colors, and then they have some like 2 color, like a black and a gray or a brown and a light brown mixed together, which I think that might get a little bit busy if you're going to do the lace. If you don't care about the lace and you're going to do it without the lace, those choices would be fine. But that's just something to think about. That lace portion, you don't want it to be too busy that you don't see the lace if you're going to do that.
Somebody commented on my YouTube that they did a striped version of the Love Note. So like left out the lace and then striped.
And I think that would be really cute for the shape.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another mohair free, and this is still a DK weight. So this is Rowan Alpaca Classic, and it's 57% alpaca and 43% cotton. But this is going to be another one of those funny, fuzzy yarns. Not funny. It does not make jokes. Fuzzy yarns. It's going to give you some loft.
Is that like a light blue?
It is a super pale blue.
Oh, I like that.
So, and this comes, I think, probably in 16 or 20 colors.
Mm.
But so this would be a nice one to look for. And these, I'm going to say, are $13.75.
And you said that's called Rowan Classic?
Rowan Alpaca Classic.
Rowan Alpaca Classic.
So that one is DK weight. And like I said, I'll get you a list of all the prices of everything that I showed, so that people can have an idea. So here is another budget-friendly option, and this is Berroco Tiramisu. So this is actually 2 strands held together, and it just comes that way on the ball.
Oh, interesting.
So this is wool, acrylic, mohair, and silk. So this would be another one. These are 137 yards each. That would be fairly budget-friendly. And these are going to have almost like a striping effect. And some of them have more color change and some of them have less color change. So that's something to look at as well. And then I pulled out some more floofy ones. So this is Cascade Cantata, which is another tape yarn. And so this one is wool and cotton together. And this is another worsted weight. So this is 70 cotton, 30% superwash wool. But this is 50 grams. No, this is 100 grams and 218 yards. And these are $10.
Oh, hello.
So this is definitely a budget friendly. They do all have this white core.
I actually like that. I think that would look really cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be very subtle knit up in the sweater, but you are going to see that lightness in all of them. But again, this is one of those yarns that's going to be floofy, and it's the tape. So it kind of takes away some of the negatives you might find with cotton being droopy.
Mm-hmm.
with a sweater weight. And you're still going to get a little bit of the fuzziness just because of the construction of that yarn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Then I pulled out Plymouth Yarns Ariado.
Oh, I remember looking at that when I was making my mother-in-law sweater last Christmas at your
So
store.
this is 70% baby alpaca, 7% merino wool, 23% nylon. And they recommend a size 9 needle for this, but I think you would still get gauge. And these are, I'm going to say, how many yards are these? 283 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch on here. And this is very soft. You feel the alpaca in it.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a little bit of the halo as well. And then there's 2 new fall yarns that I think would work as well. This is Berroco Dolce. I don't know if you can see, like, there's like a core that the fiber that's fuzzy is wrapped around, and the core is different colors.
Mm. Is that one yarn again?
Yeah, this is just one strand,
like
but yeah, but you can see the center is what's different colors.
And that's thicker than a DK, or that is a DK?
This is technically a worsted because of the floof.
Oh,
but you definitely would get gauge with that.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that as an option. And then I thought we should probably have a sparkle option.
What? I did not know this was coming.
So this is Avita, which is a new yarn from Plymouth. And this is 73% alpaca, 17% lurex, and 10% nylon. And I think this comes in 8 or 10 colors, and they all have that glittery lurex in them, but they still are fluffy.
Girl, why did we not start with the glitter?
I was trying to do them in order by the weight.
Okay, show me some more of that.
Then to review the mochi too would also be in that weight category, and is the tape.
Okay, so the glitter, you said that's Plymouth?
Yes, this is Plymouth Avita.
Oh my gosh, is that black?
This is black.
I'm dead. I've never made a black sweater. I think
Well, if you're going to make one, it should be black and sparkly.
I know. I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh. That one's good. That one's good.
So in this one just came, so I don't really remember how much it is, but like I said, I will.
Are there other colors too?
A list for you. Yeah. Do you want me to walk away and get one?
Just maybe 1 or 2.
Okay, hold on. Everyone come look at this. Is Hedgehog DK behind me.
Oh my gosh, how exciting. I've been trying to decide like what is I've made 3 love notes. So for the love note linen along, I'm going to be knitting my 4th one. So I've been trying to decide like what my 4th one will be. Part of me feels like I need to make one that doesn't have mohair, because I've made 2 that have mohair and then 1 that has suri. So I feel like I need to do a non-fuzzy one. And
so this is like an ice blue.
That's an ice blue, and it's glittery because it doesn't look glittery on the screen.
It is still glittery.
I
don't know if you can see the glitter like here.
Subtly, yes.
I think the black is definitely easier to see because it's a bigger color differentiation. This is kind of like a navy, somewhere between royal and navy blue. And then this one is just like a heathered natural gray.
That one would be nice too. A little bit, like, looks really classy. The black is just a stunner.
So I'm also going to throw out there, if you don't know what yarn to use and you're looking for yarn, go to your local yarn store and ask for help. We all have tons of choices, and we'd all be happy to help. So that's my hint of the day. Ask your local yarn store owner for help. We have ideas.
And indeed, that's what I did here. Although you're my local yarn store owner, that's like 3,000 miles away from me. But, you know.
It's like a thing.
I used to live really close to you.
Well, and neither of us live where we lived when we met. So
yeah. So that's true too. We both moved, and around the same time, right? Yeah.
I think you maybe moved a whole year before me, or maybe 2 even.
Okay.
I can't really remember for sure.
Well, I do remember this. So I flew back for my graduation, and I was able to, which is in the same town that you're located in, and I was able to, the same day as my graduation, go to your hand-dyed holiday. That was in 2015. So it was probably, I feel like it was a really similar timeline.
Yeah, it was your mom and your dad and Kimmy.
Yeah. And special memories, because I don't know if anybody knows this on the channel, but my dad's passed away. And so any kind of memory with him is like a special one. So it's cool that he was able to come to my graduation.
I think it was better that he was able to come and buy you yarn.
And, well, yes. And he bought Kimmy yarn too.
Yes.
Which she hasn't knit yet. So.
Oh. So Kimmy, you're now called out. We're going to be
checking
on your progress.
She definitely doesn't watch this YouTube channel either. What it was is Kimmy is my friend for the people watching, and she knit because I knit. And basically I have a way of like making people that are my friends knit with me. And she's still my friend, but she's just not coming over to my house like all the time. Because
didn't you watch The Bachelor together?
Yes. Oh, and this is now on the YouTube. Thanks for sharing that, Kelly.
Sorry.
Now people are going to be judging me about Bachelor Nation.
Well, I didn't have to say how involved you were with it, but you just watched it together. I think that's okay.
So since we're down that rabbit hole, I've never missed an episode ever of Bachelor Nation.
And I've never watched a single one, and we're still friends. You can be polar opposite and still be good friends.
What I'm hearing though, Kelly, is that you need to fly out here and watch some Bachelor Nation with me.
Probably.
That's a no.
We could do other things.
We have indeed, because you have flown out here.
Yes. It's probably time to do that again sometime soon. But
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be on my channel. Oh, just a little quick note. I probably should have introduced each other this way, but you can find me as profpurl on Instagram, and Kelly, you're
LMR Knittery 2.
Okay.
And if you're looking for help and you don't have a local yarn store, feel free to reach out, and I would be happy to help you get the yarn that you need for your project.
Awesome. And, also this could have been a nice inspiration talk too, if people have bought yarn already from their local yarn store and they have it in their stash. The Love Note is one of those sweaters that doesn't take as much yarn as you expect.
Yeah.
Because I remember I knit like a boxy sweater from Mohi Locatelli, that would take lots and lots of fingering weight. And then what I needed for this was surprisingly little comparatively to other sweaters I've knit. And so,
yeah, I know I knit the extra large, and I think I had to get 3 of the sock yarn and then 3 of the mohair. But the third sock yarn I used maybe for 2 or 3 inches of the second sleeve. So I had quite a bit of it left over.
Yeah, so I've knit this one's a size large, and I've also knit a size medium. And the size large, this one, I had 2 hanks of fingering and 2 hanks of mohair, and I had a lot left over. A lot.
I'm going to put mine on, and then we can be twins like in our picture.
Oh, yeah. And we probably need to pose a bit, too, so we have a YouTube thumbnail. There we go. There you go. Okay, hopefully that'll be the thumbnail. All right. Well, thanks.
I think generally when I make videos, I'm just making terrible faces whenever it, picks that picture. So if you're making a terrible face, it's my fault.
Well, thank you so much, and bye. Happy knitting.
Bye.